unfortunate event led to something great. When he was around 7 years old, Felix Joseph fell off the back of a horse-drawn reaper on his family farm, which partially cut off his leg.
I can always remember the story. They had to amputate his leg off just right about above the knee. And they always tell a story about how his mother had to go out in the field because she couldn't stand the screaming because they didn't have any anesthetic to put him out with when they cut his leg off. So he grew up on the farm, and he knew he couldn't do farm work anymore, and that's when he went up to St. Louis to try to get work up there, and he went to work for a photographer as a janitor and cleaning up and doing odd jobs.
When he was around 17 or 18, he decided to move away from his hometown of Perryville, Missouri to work in a darkroom for a photographer as a janitor in St. Louis. He worked his way up in the business and learned to be a photographer himself. There was an advertisement looking for a resident photographer in DeSoto. After he had found his calling, he established Lorella Studio at 20 years old.
DeSoto, and he had the business going, and he had a son by the name of Lorella, and that's what he named the studio after first. He called it Lorella Studio. And what he did was he always had a sign out front on his door or in the window, and he always signed it F.J. Melfeld Photographer. And he always signed instead of putting dots, he put little O's. And then one lady came in one day and asked to see Mr. Fojo. And that's when he decided to change it to Fojo Studio.
Business was booming and continuing to grow.
Uncle Dana involved, and then they started going all over the country putting these billboards up. I mean, it was mostly in the Midwest, but I mean, they probably had a sign just about, most of the states in the Midwest. And what they would do is they put on the sign, they put mail your film to Fojo, DeSoto, Missouri, 63020, so it had a lot of O's in it. And that's when the mail order business started really taking off. And at one time, it was the largest mail order photo finisher in the United States.